Uh, Good day to everyone. I'm really glad to be part of NewMR's event for the second year running. Awesome event that Ray has started, and it's getting to be quite a movement. Today I'll be talking to you about mobile online wave and what to expect. Okay, as though I specialize in mobile, over time we call ourselves a digital agency with a bias to mobile because the lines are thinning very rapidly. I've just divided the presentation into 5 parts. Give you a background about how mobile and online is. I'll discuss a case study, talk about some opportunities in our industry, and leave you with the 5 mobile trends that we see. Okay. This tells us the gap between the feature phones and the smartphones. Despite all the hype of all the smartphones, the Apples, the Androids, globally, if you look at the projected numbers, even by 2014, only 17% of all phones will be smart. Everything else will be feature phones. So any strategy, especially in market research, which limits itself to smartphones, does not give a representative picture. Now, if you look at this chart, you can see 10 years ago, the developing world was half the number of mobiles in the developed world. And fast forward, and you see that just 2 countries, India and China, are more than the entire developed world put together. Just to further highlight the difference between countries, continents, and mobile using people, I've just taken Shanghai and I've taken Australia, and I've given you some key numbers. The population of Shanghai and Australia at par, mobile penetration at par, smartphone penetration greater in Shanghai, iPhone penetration much greater in Australia, and if you look at Symbian smartphones, again dominated in Shanghai. Okay, this again is telling us how the online and mobile spaces are merging, and you can see that mobile internet is expected to overtake PC-based access in the middle of 2013. This is a very interesting chart which illustrates that as you go from the developed world, you have North America on the left, and as you go to more underdeveloped nations, a single device does the task of what multiple device does in more developed nations. For instance, you would have a music player, you would have something for email, while as you go to countries with less resources, the same device would be used for everything. Why is this happening? I think most of the it's very obvious. One is improved user interfaces. It's getting easier for us to use. The growth of now people wanting to know and share what's happening at the moment. Data plans are getting easier to understand and more affordable. The handsets itself are not only getting smarter, but they're also getting more affordable. And I think the key driver is that it's a tool of empowerment. Age no bar, economics no bar, it reaches everywhere. Okay. I'm going to share a case study which we did in China, and this study was done using mobile phones, and they were done using non-smartphones. They were Java-enabled phones, and they were done in a Tier 3 city and Shanghai. We had participants use their mobile phones to download an app and take photographs, videos, and text their consumption behavior when it came to snacks. They had broadly 5 topics which they were had to respond to going through the weekdays and weekends. The response that we got was overwhelming. The target was expected to just limit ourselves to the key beverages and also maybe key snacks that people have, but it covered a host of areas. It went into yogurts, it went into milk, it went into bread, it went into cakes, and it just was traditional snacking meals. It covered a host of areas, and in fact subsequently we had to do a lot more studies and break it up to address specific areas. And then we also got it throughout the day. And because it was real time, there was no recall element in it. As people consumed, they shared with us. So there was a lot of emotional sharing of how they felt when they were consuming an item. Added to that, we also got a very good look at the triggers that drove consumption. Often when we try new introductions, we give logical reasoning, like I was curious and I wanted to taste the orange that they had introduced, and very often the reality is that you picked it up only because you liked the new packaging. Okay, in summary, just in a week, we got over 500 text responses, 40 video clips, 300 photos, and we got a very rich audio visual feel of the entire consumption process of the target audience that we used in 2 markets. That was actually almost 2 years ago that we did that study. Subsequently, we have done it for chocolates, cigarettes, cosmetics, biscuits, beverages, snacks, teens, use of digital gadgets. So and we're still doing a lot of other areas as well. Now, looking at the opportunities that MR throws out, before I go to specific mobile MR opportunities, I just thought that why MR? One is that I think you get a ringside seat at the whole debate of knowledge versus technology. Interest in human nature and analytics, market insights across categories and industries, and watch a traditionally conservative industry evolving rapidly. Be an expert and be valued for your opinion and see things that no one else sees. Thriving in diversity, be part of a global community to be proud of, and of course some of the other obvious reasons are a booming industry, there's a wide scope and areas that you can enter into, and of course it's a living. Okay, some of the areas that is dominating mobile market research currently is mobile qualitative research, a lot of ethnography, a lot of mobile blogging, then there's brand tracking and brand consumption, there's advertising testing, concept testing, product testing. There's location-based research being done, be it in loyalty, shopper, display, customer satisfaction. Then there's passive monitoring methods where you do mobile metering. Then you have other new areas like social gaming and mobilized social communities. Mobile, it's very important to understand that mobile or online or whatever methodology we specialize in and get into does not live in isolation. To get the best out of any of our solutions, we need to work with different channels and methodologies. Within mobile itself, you have mobile operating systems, you have web, online, you have WAP, you have app, you have HTML5, SMS, MMS, you have GPS, cell tower triangulation if you're talking about location-based. So all these components need to be looked at and configured together depending on what the output you're looking for. And finally, I would like to end with the 5 MR trends that we see. First one being mobile panels and samples. As the growth of mobile penetration grows, we move to a situation where if you don't have a mobile phone, you're not my market. In the bottom half of the pyramid, we have seen that after food, the most important purchase is a mobile phone. So if you're selling a toothpaste and he doesn't have a mobile phone, he's not going to go for it. So, okay. This is very much like the mobile solutions I talked about, that it is not in isolation. Hybrid mobile solutions are the way to go. Even within mobile, if you're just doing iPhone, you cover a very small population. You need to cover multiple operating systems to get the reach that ideally you're looking for. Instant reporting, gone are the days where you go out, do the collection, take a couple of weeks to write out the report and then come back. People want instant results, and technology gives us the power to do that. The teams that we work in as well are going to get more skilled. Social media is increasingly playing a larger role, and our teams are getting naturally tech savvy without having to even be trained extensively, simply because they are evolved users. And I think one of the biggest impacts that we are seeing mobile being used for is in the measurement and monitoring and market research of shopping behavior. And that is simply driven by the growth of shoppers using the mobile as a tool to enhance their shopping experience, be it mobile barcoding, mobile payments, and other utilities. With that, I think I've also run out of time. So just wanted to say thank you, and yeah, I hope you enjoyed the presentation.